In this video, we'll show you how to set up the time clock slash demand response input on an eFlex relay panel. Select the time clock emergency tab and select the time clock demand response input. Time clock input settings include mode, polarity, and response preset, as well as assigned zones to be controlled by the time clock or demand response input. Use the mode drop-down list to select one of 5 operation modes available for the time clock demand response input. Option 1 is time clock, momentary, turn off, assigned zones. Option 2 is maintain, start stop, lights out feature on closure and open of this input. Option 3, maintain, closure turns on assigned zones to a preset and open to off preset. Option 4 is maintain, closure turns on to assigned zones to a panic preset, a dedicated preset, preset number 19, and on open returns control to other inputs. Option 5 is maintained, and this is to select the demand response capability. When closure turns on the demand response, on open returns control to normal. Polarity settings include normally open or normally closed contacts. The response preset for time clock operation can be selected from the response preset drop-down list. List of all the zones that can be controlled by the time clock demand response input is displayed on the far right with a checkbox and the name of the zone to the right of the checkbox. To assign zones, check the box next to the name, and to exclude those zones, uncheck the box. Only assigned zones will be affected by the activity on the selected input. The time clock input can be used for demand response feature rather than time clock. Energy codes and energy companies have growing requirements to reduce your power consumption during high energy usage. Energy companies may also provide incentive programs which require reduced power consumption for lower rates. The eFlex relay panel meets these energy requirements by accepting contact input from the power company to impose a contract configured maximum output per zone on a demand response event. This means all lighting levels at 100%, the maximum lighting power must be reduced by a minimum of 15%. That is, demand response will enforce a maximum level. The maximum level is set using a load shed value. The demand response level is 100% minus the load shed value. Demand response during that load shed provides a smooth fade of all zones assigned to the input to fade to the reduced maximum level. This fade can be adjusted to avoid disruption, and so occupants do not notice that transition. To enter into demand response feature for the time clock input, select option number 5. This will display other entries, settings to set up the demand response fade time, as well as allow you to adjust the load shed values for each zone. Demand response fade time defaults to a 1-minute fade time. You can adjust this from 1 to 30 minutes. Note that when demand response is released, the relay panel will return all zone levels to the original values in a hard-coded 10-second fade. This is not adjustable. The eFlex relay panel provides capability to configure the reduced power on a zone-by-zone basis for maximum flexibility in reducing the total maximum power in a space. A spin box is provided for each zone to adjust the load shed value from 10 to 40%. The default value is 15%. This 15% value meets the California Title 24 applications. Note, while in the demand response state, preset levels below the demand response maximum recall as normal. Preset levels above the demand response maximum level will stop fading at that maximum level. When the demand response is removed, all light levels forced to the demand response max will return to their original intended levels, again with a hard-coded fade time of 10 seconds.